Okay, everybody, I'm making this recording because I noticed in this assignment, Reducing Stress Data Analysis, that there's this super helpful thing right here about how to make a graph, but there's a whole bunch that you need to do to the spreadsheet before you get to the point of making the graph. And I want to show you how to do that. So, first off, you got to open up the Google Sheets. It's always my poor computer stressing so hard with all this online stuff. So it prompts you to make a copy, which is what you want to do. And there we go. There's the data from my class. Now, one of the first things, and this is going to be a little slow because my computer with Screencast-O-Matic is always like, look, it's working. Oh, good work, little guy. Okay, here we go. So you see that the data is just sort of all together in there because that really has more to do with like when different people submitted it. You might also see like, wow, that's 2 classes together, 2 classes of like 25 people apiece. So you see why I have such pain being silly about that, but boy, it would be nice if more people were doing the work that's assigned for class. It's not super useful to you having this all together. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to highlight, starting from here, and just figured this out, because this is like the 4th time I've tried to make this video. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's true. That if you highlight from the bottom, then it tries to only have you sort by column D, which is not what we want. Now we're going to go up to Data here, and we are going to sort by column A, but we don't want to sort the whole sheet. We actually want to sort just the range, because it's nice to have those titles still sticking up there in row 1. So sort the range that I selected by column A, and it's going to go alphabetical. So exercise comes first, and then mindfulness. Now, that's also not extremely useful to us. So we're going to take this right here and take it away. Edit. Cut. Oh no! Don't cut that! What if it hurts? There we go. We hope that's a little extra long so we don't chop any out. And then paste. It's very possible I only need to like put that up there and it'll paste just fine, but I don't know. Did I say this before? This is just sort of the hack figured out on your own way of doing things, which is pretty much my entire approach to technology. So if you are savvy at this, please, you're welcome to make your own Screencast-O-Matic and send it to me. I'd be happy to use it and learn something. Okay, so anyway, so now we have exercise over here, mindfulness over here, which is where we want them. But what we need are the averages from each of these things. Now, just to, no, I think we're okay. I was going to put in a weird number in here so you weren't just like copying what I put in, but who cares, right? We're fine. So, I don't care if I give you a little something. You get a little something for watching this video and putting up with me. Right in here, we need to insert a function. And that function is an average. If you had to do this by hand, do you know how long it would take you? Okay, so you see that right up here is the function. That's what's in the cell that I'm working on right in here. So you could type this in. It's column C2, and then dot, dot, and then it goes down to the one that we end with, which is C20. But you can also just highlight it, and then you press return, and then it inserts that function, and then it performs that function. So we'll do the same thing right over here. Insert, function, average. Highlight from here. So I hold it down as I'm highlighting all the way down to here. So you don't know that, but I'm actually holding my little mouse pad down the whole way that I do that to the bottom. Or you could also just type in like D2 colon D20 and then press return, and it performs that function. Okay? Now, I'm not going to do it for this one because I want you to have to do some of this work to make sure that you understand how to do it. But what I also need now is a table, and I want to just remember what all the treatment, exercise, mindfulness. Okay, got it. Okay, so the title of our table, sort of, and then we have the exercise group, and then the mindfulness group, and here we have the before, which is going to be the average score, and then we have the after, also the average score, And then here, for exercise, we actually have some values. And I'm just going to round that the before score, we'll round it up just because. It was 58, sure it was, right? Sort of. We round up if it's a 5. It makes it look better anyway. And then the after score is 53, okay? Now for mindfulness, I'm just going to make something up here, partly because then I can see if you just copied what I did or if you actually did it yourself. We're going to say that these stress monsters had a score of 99 before, and afterwards, oh my gosh, mindfulness is so awesome. They went down to 42. Didn't happen, but see, do your own, right? Now, this comes straight out of this handy dandy video that was right here, which I highly recommend watching because that's how I learned to do this. So then we highlight this table that we just made, and we go up to insert again, but this time we're going to insert a chart. I think. Insert a chart. Okie dokie. So we got that. So it just opened up the chart editor, but if it didn't for some reason and you click on the snowman here, the 3 dots, it will open up the chart editor for you. And when you're in the chart editor, you can make some changes. Now, exercise and mindfulness, those are the title, so we don't really need to change that. If I go right here, I'm going to change the title of our bar graph chart here because that's not helpful. So what we was stress reduction, and really we were looking at effectiveness, the effectiveness of these 2 different techniques for stress reduction. Now, that title seems to work for me. If it works for you, you can use it. It's fine. Down here for treatment, it's not going to let me put in a whole bunch of text because I tried that already. But we can just say results of an experiment comparing stress reduction techniques. And then you'd want to have a more complete caption as you write up your paper that actually says a little bit about the experiment, that there were, students could choose. Also, like, who was in this experiment? How big was the sample size? Which also is called N in experimental lingo. N equals whatever, it was like, I don't know, 35, something like that. And that this is not just PCC Bio 11 students, but actually, and not even just PCC Bio 11 students from Professor Stevens' classes, but also the students who voluntarily submitted, who are voluntarily completed. I don't know how you want to word that, but honestly, to say exactly what it was students who volunteered to complete the assignment and submit their data from Professor Stevens' Bio 11 classes from fall of 2020, if we want to get really nitty gritty. Now, once you have that done, I'm going to close the chart editor, right, to show you again. If you click on the chart, it opens this up and it gives you a whole bunch of options. You can download the chart as a PDF, I don't even know what this is or whatever. That seems kind of useful though. I don't know. PNG, whatever. You can copy the chart. You can move it to its own sheet. So there's, you can use it then in the paper that you write up and discuss it. Now keep in mind that your chart's not going to look like this because, sorry, I want to make that close, because I made up these values. You're going to have to find those averages and then discuss whether or not you think that this is a substantial difference. Do you think that there really was a difference in the exercise group? And for whatever actual values you get for the mindfulness group, do you think that it actually did make a difference? If we did this experiment 100 times, would you see these same results? Here, it seems pretty close to me. I'm betting that this is probably not a significant result, but it could be. You discuss it how it makes sense to you, and that's what the assignment is. Okay, let's see now how do I make this stop.